Welcome to this week's Schreiber Council meeting. The first order of business was a healthcare update from the North Shore Family Health Team, outlining and clarifying their ongoing local services. Following that, Council reviewed the latest OPP Public Safety Report concerning regional traffic and community initiatives. We will also look at the construction progress on the new playground over at Mallory Blue Park. Finally, the meeting covered Council's decision to lease a new grader to ensure reliable road maintenance and winter operations. Now here's the agenda.
So my name is Lynn Dingwell. I'm the Executive Director for the North Shore Family Health Team, and I'm here to talk to Council just to explain who we are, what we do, how we benefit the communities, and what we'd love them to advocate for if they get a chance with the Ministry of Health or people from that ministry.
All right, so good evening. Welcome to the Township of Schreiber's Council and Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, June the 23rd, 2026, here in Council Chambers in beautiful downtown Schreiber. This is our open session of the meeting, and I am looking for an approval of the agenda, and I do have one amendment. I have a report by our Director of Operations regarding trackless repairs. That has been, was suggested be added, and I'm going to suggest it gets added to Committee of the Whole number 10. Everyone good with that? Mm-hmm. Any other additions or deletions to the agenda? No? Okay. So, a motion to approve the agenda as amended, all in favor? Okay. Moving forward and seeing all the items on the agenda, are there now any disclosures of interest? Seeing none, we'll move forward. At this point, we are going to actually recess the council meeting and open the public meeting regarding the budget bylaw. CAO Smith, I'll let you take it away.
Okay, all right, Marlene.
Yes.
So, okay, so do you want, I'm gonna let Marlene do this.
So on June the 2nd, Council provided direction to bring forward the 2026 budget bylaw to the June 23rd council meeting with an increase, a levy increase of 5.82%, which is what the bylaw has been drafted before you. This portion of the meeting is in reference to the notice that was published after that meeting, where anyone who had any kind of comments or questions was supposed to provide those in writing, identifying themselves and what the questions were to the CAO clerk. So have you had any questions?
I have not.
Okay. So that is, there has been no questions, no input from the public. That's your public meeting.
That's our public meeting?
That's public meeting.
Okay. So, that being our public meeting being over, that was quick. I will reconvene council and start with our land acknowledgement. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in the Robinson Superior Treaty territory and that the land on which we gather is traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. After our land acknowledgement, we are moving into, now that we're reconvened, delegations. CAO Smith.
Okay, so first we have Mary Lynn Dingwell from the North Shore Family Health Team. So I'm just gonna pull her presentation up here. Oh, yeah, another one. That's all. Okay. I have a clicker for you.
Perfect. Nice candidates for you.
Awesome, we'll trade.
Sorry, why?
So you can stand anywhere you'd like.
Kim told me I should stand here.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks. So and the slides will be a bit different, so the handouts are to use for reference. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mary Lynn Dingwell, and I'm the Executive Director of the North Shore Family Health Team. I came here today, and I'm hoping to present to the other council just to let you know who we are. And I'm going to start, my way of letting you know who we are is going to be to let you know who we are not. So we are not the medical centers. So we're not J.E. Stokes Medical Center. They're funded for 2 physicians. They currently have 2 physicians. We're not the Augustava Medical Clinic. They're funded for 2.5 physicians, and they currently have 1.5 physicians. And those physicians are responsible for all of the healthcare. So primary care, hospital care, emergency care, long-term care. Who we are is we're the family health team, and we're located in both clinics. They support us through their reception, and we chart in the clinic EMRs. So we're also not the North of Superior Healthcare Group, which is a hospital, although one of the offices is located in the hospital. So it gets really confusing. But we do partner with McCausland Site for the diabetes education program. And we also support NOSH as they fund our retired NP to review diagnostics. So when the locums are here and they leave, there's lots of lab work that comes in afterwards. So Sue does that for us. So who we are, funded positions. So there's myself, there's our 0.5 admin assistant, 0.5 clerk, and then we have our allied healthcare professionals. So we have our nurse practitioner, our RPN, social worker, who right now is an RN counselor. We have a 0.5 care coordinator, and we have a 0.5 dietitian. And we are governed by a board of directors, which includes community members and physicians. Juan is one of our board of directors. So why the family health team is important to the municipalities. So in 2025-26 fiscal year, the family health team, NP, and the allied healthcare providers provided care to 1,279 unique patients. So Kim served 241 patients that didn't need to see a doctor. The allied healthcare professionals served 118 people that didn't need to see Kim or the doctor. And it equaled 557 people who didn't need to see a physician to get treatment or service. So when we're short physicians, we do a lot for the community. What we hope you can do. We'd like you to advocate for us when we meet with representatives from the Ministry of Health, that you ask that the North Shore Family Health Team be expanded to meet the needs of the communities. Ask how we compare in size to other family health teams within the District of Thunder Bay, and let them know we're unique. We're the only one that has offices in both communities. Ask that family health teams be moved to a global budget. This will allow us to respond to the needs of the communities, the resources available, and potential for partnerships. And ask that the structural compensation gap between family health teams and other organizations be closed. And I'm going to explain these all. So, to advocate for us, why should you? We ease the burden on physicians. We help them out a lot. We offer programs locally so people don't need to travel to Thunder Bay. So we have our memory clinic, we have spirometry clinic, we have a diabetes education program. We support the community. We offer education sessions, programs, services, and we provide a leadership role coordinating other service providers. Expansion needs. So we really need another nurse practitioner, better access for people if we had that. We need a health promoter. So currently Lindy, our RPN, does this. She does smoking cessation, she does spirometry, she does diabetes, and she doesn't get compensated accordingly. So we'd like to have more funding for her. We need an additional 0.5 care coordinator. Lisa does a lot and she could do so much more if we had more of her time. And we need a 0.5 financial program manager to help with succession planning when I eventually decide to retire. So we also need IT support. So currently we have a shared position supported through our Ontario Health team, but it's time limited, so it won't be ongoing. And there's lots of cybersecurity that's happening now. Other additional expansions that would benefit our communities would be an RPN medical assistant at each office, and they can meet with the patient and shorten the time that the physician needs to be with the patient. Physiotherapist, kinesiology would help us offer a lot more programs. It's quite hard to get outpatient physiotherapy, and I know way back Mr. Krause had put in an application with the family health team for that. And we'd like an additional social worker. It's our hardest position to fill, and if we had 2 of them, they could support each other. Comparison to other district communities. So there is some expansion being announced through the province, and once it's announced, the North Shore Family Health Team will be the smallest family health team in the district of Thunder Bay. So keep your eyes open for those funding announcements. We're the only team in the district that works out of 2 sites. And many organizations travel into our communities from Marathon or Nipigon or Thunder Bay, and we support the people when they're not available. Global budgeting. So family health teams are funded for HR and their general budget, and they can't move money between those without permission. And we're also funded by positions. So when I wanted to change our social work position to an RN counselor, because that's who was available in the community, I needed to get Ontario Health's permission to do that. Whoop. Why this matters. We can't respond quickly to the needs and resources of our community, and we can't use funding from our general budget to increase wages of staff. Structural compensation gap. Family health teams are compensated for similar positions at a rate that's lower than hospitals, public health, and education. So our registered dietitian, Andrea, also works for the hospital. She's actually funded through, employed through the hospital, and her hospital position gets $7.48 more an hour than we're allocated in our budget. And then I just saw a similar position advertised for St. Joe's for $17 more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and for all of the allied health. So services offered by us helps ease the workload of physicians, allows physicians to focus on the most complex cases, and share some of the programs and services that are offered by our NP and allied health care. So we do memory clinic, cognitive assessments, blood pressure and blood sugar outreach clinics at the senior centers, care coordination, preventative care visits, flu clinics, diabetes program, DEP program, mental health program, nutritional counseling program, health promotion program. That's people might be getting letters for screening that's coming up for their screening, care coordination program. We have our smoking cessation. We now have a spirometry program. We do pre and postnatal visits. We do well babies and well children visits. We do nutritional programming for infants and children. Kim does the high school clinic, and Andrea does dietary outreach at the earlier center in the elementary schools. And Elizabeth's going to start doing outreach there as well. We're also working on adding a frailty screening program and a palliative care program. So thank you for your time and attention and for allowing me the opportunity to talk to you tonight. We appreciate the commitment to improving healthcare services in our communities and look forward to working with you guys in the future. Any questions?
Mary Lynn, how do you interact with the Thunder Bay District Health Unit? What's the correlation there, or is there any?
Well, totally different funding, and they have a public health nurse here in Terrace Bay that supports us. So again, we're so intertwined. She'll take the immunizations to the offices, and they order from the public health unit, and then it's often my staff that give the immunizations. So like when you think of the well babies and stuff like that, we support them with when they took over the COVID clinics. They supported us when we did all the COVID clinics through the first part of COVID. We'll do programs together. They just did a training for us on lactation. So yeah, Montana is the public health nurse, and we work closely with her. She's wonderful. And then when there was nobody in that position for a long time, we did a lot of what they would do.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else at the table?
Good.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Yeah, thank you so
Yes.
much.
Those are really good information. CEO Smith.
Okay, so next we have councillor Webb, who's here to present the Nipigon Detachment Board Annual Report for 2025.
Where would you like me?
Anywhere you'd like to be.
Right in the camera range.
Right there?
Yeah, sure. Come on in. Awesome.
Good evening, Mayor and Councilors. Thank you for having me to deliver this report on behalf of Mayor Malashewski and our committee. Message from Staff Sergeant Jason Golds. Jason has undertaken the duties of our detachment in our area in 2025 and has responded to the workload in our area. Here is a brief overview as to what and the OPP in our area have been doing and his future focus. Excuse me. With the increase of intimate partner violence, they have mobilized additional support from the region with a domestic abuse issues investigator, a regional abuse issues coordinator, and a victims response support unit. They have maintained the commitment to our traffic safety in our area and prioritized enforcement on 4 major causal factors of collision, impairment, distraction, and speeding. Just give me a second here. Between the 9th and 10th of June in 2026, members of the Nipigon and Schreiber OPP, in conjunction with the officers with the Ministry of Transport, conducted a traffic campaign on the highways between Dorian Township and the Township of Terrace Bay. This initiative resulted in 76 charges, 22 level 2 and level 3 inspections, with 6 commercial motor vehicles were taken out of service for violations. The following charges were laid. Speeding violations were 23, trip inspections were 16, violations on hours of work were 14, equipment violations were 8, registration violations were 7, load security were 2, driver qualification were 2, and 2 seatbelt charges were laid. The OPP is committed for safety for all who utilize the Ontario roadways. Members of the public are urged to report any emergency driving situations by calling first 911. Complaints of impaired, aggressive, or careless driving can also be made by 1-888-310-1122. In 2026, they will release our new 2026 to 2029 Nipigon Detachment Action Plan. This is the first action plan development under the new Community and Policing Act, the CSPA. They have committed to staffing a dedicated position to Community Street Crime Unit to proactively address crime, property crime, and drug activity in the Nipigon Detachment area. The Nipigon Detachment partnered with community-based organizations including Deleco and Victim Services of Thunder Bay to better support victims by connecting them with the local and culturally relevant resources. The Nipigon Detachment is committed to the reduction in the impaired operation of vehicles, and that includes vehicles, watercraft, motorized snow vehicles, as well as all-terrain vehicles. They're also committed to the reduction of speed and aggressive driving on our roadways. The detachment has conducted 762 ride checkpoints in 2025. Another commitment that was made to the Police Service Board Committee was the education of the anti-fraud to all the people in our area. They made presentations in Terrace Bay to the public, which was well attended from both Schreiber and Terrace Bay residents. It keyed in on the constant threat of scams preying on the vulnerable. They have also committed to increase the foot patrol in our area, especially when there is an event that is deemed necessary from the townships. This is but a brief report. All the statistics are available in the annual report for your perusal, which I brought one copy if anybody wants to have a look at it. No, I have no problem with parting with it. But the other thing I wanted to say tonight to let everybody know, and you may or may not know this, but the OAPSB has a new website. It's and a new branding. It's PGO. It's Police Governance of Ontario. Some may or may not know that, and is accessible by all. Everybody in the public can go on that website, and it's really user friendly, and it's a real healthy. If you want to look at anything that the OPP or the municipal policings are doing, it's a real healthy website to use.
Awesome.
Any questions?
No.
I think it's exciting though, reporting like how many infractions of vehicles,
Yeah.
commercial vehicles they pulled off the road.
Where
In 2 days.
Yeah, in the 8th and 9th, yeah. Mayor Mullins has said on a number of occasions at our meetings, and in the past, we've had, actually, this is the 3rd detachment commander in less than a year.
Yeah.
We had Jim Davies,
Yep.
we had Chris Bordelon, and now Jason Gold. And honestly, Jason's a young man, full of P&V, for lack of a better term.
Yep.
And he knows where it's at. His wife was born and raised in Nipigon,
Oh, okay.
and he is actually from southern Ontario, but he's loving it. He's loving it up here in Great White North, and he is a breath of fresh air.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And he'll
Excellent.
stay.
Thank you for your time.
Well, thanks.
Thanks so
Thank you,
much.
Bill, for coming and presenting that to us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime.
All right. Next on the agenda, question period.
We have no questions.
Okay. Moving forward, minutes of previous meetings. So, I have resolution 154-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that the minutes of the special council meeting held on May 28th, 2026 be accepted as circulated. Is there any discussion regarding those minutes? All in favor? Carried. And then I have resolution 155-26. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the minutes of the emergency council meeting held on June the 1st be accepted as circulated. Is there any discussion in regards to the June 1st minutes? No? All in favor? Carried. And next, I have resolution 156-26. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the minutes of the council and committee meeting of the whole held on June the 2nd, 2026 be accepted as circulated. Is there any discussion about these minutes from June the 2nd? All in favor? Okay, carried. And last but not least, I have resolution 157-26, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the minutes of the special council meeting held on June the 12th, 2026 be accepted as circulated. Is there any discussion about the June 12th minutes? No? All in favor? Okay, carried. Right. That's our minutes. We are moving on to business arising from these minutes. So we have some resolutions. Number one, the playground. So resolution 158-26. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the council accept the quotation from Blue Imp in the amount of $205,366, excluding applicable taxes, for the removal of the current playground equipment and the installation of the new playground at Mallory's Blue Park. Is there any discussion regarding this resolution from our previous meetings? All in favor? Okay, carried. Next, we have the payment to Superior Country.
158.
Okay. Resolution 159-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that council authorize the payment of the 2026 Superior Country municipal membership in the amount of $1,000, and this excludes applicable taxes. Is there any discussion around this resolution from our Committee of the Whole recommendations? No? All in favor? And that's carried. Then we have the Highway Corridor Management billing. So that's resolution 160-26. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the council approve the payment of the Province of Ontario Highway Corridor Management billing statement in the amount of $770, including applicable taxes, for the permit approval of application number 2026 00002963. And this again is from our resolutions from prior meetings. Is there any discussion about this item? All in favor? And that's carried. Next is.
You gotta mute yourself.
Next item is the approval of purchase of SCBA cylinders. And this is resolution 161-26. So this was moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that council approve the purchase of 4 SCBA air cylinders from M&L Supply at a cost of $4,000, excluding shipping and applicable taxes.
Yeah, when I first thought about that last meeting, I thought it was from our capital list that we agreed on for the budget this year, and then realized it was an extra capital request.
Okay,
So that was, to me, that was like, okay, so we already discussed what we're spending in capital. Now this is an additional request, which potentially could put us over budget.
Marlene, can you address that for Councillor McGrath, please?
So the confirmation went out after the last meeting that yes, in fact, the request is for different than what was approved in the capital budget. So this was in addition to the request for the SCBA, the 4 new SCBA cylinders.
So it's additional capital spending, and the thought was to take it out of infrastructure, the fire department infrastructure account.
I think that was the fire chief's request, was it coming out of equipment?
Equipment.
Fire department equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it would, so Marlene, would this have an impact on taxes?
Not if you take it from reserve, no.
It's only gonna have an impact on the fire department equipment reserve.
Correct.
Okay.
okay. So I guess we're transferring money into fire department equipment or fire.
No, there was nothing in the budget that I'm aware of. We transfer money into the fire truck,
Into the 11,000 into the fire truck reserve.
but not equipment.
Okay, so this fire department equipment reserve is for additional capital equipment that we need throughout the year. Is that what it's for?
That is what it is established, yes.
Okay, so that, it's nothing unusual, this is something we could do every year, is if we get a good deal, I
wouldn't
guess.
say you could do it every year because you're not putting anything into it. Like what has normally been going in there is the donations for the, from the car club for services, during the annual drag races has been going in there, but that has been earmarked for your to help support the renovation costs of the old fire hall.
Okay. So, I'm just trying to get it straight in my mind, is this a capital request that was necessary after we hammered it out at budget time, what we were gonna buy for the year, so this, I mean, obviously it was a good deal, right, Jan? That
It
came
is
up.
a good deal.
After-
You'd
after-
pay just shy of 2,000 per bottle on these at full price. So this is half price, and you're further saving on the shipping and the taxes because Pays Plaid is making a co-purchase at the same time. So we're only paying half the shipping on the purchase. So generally, what's going on this year is we're transferring 11,000. It's in the operating budget actually
Yes,
into that truck reserve fund.
right.
That was historically, it was combined under a previous CAO. It was 10,000 into the truck reserve, and then there was another account that was the equipment reserve
Yes,
that was being used to fund a future snowmobile purchase. She wanted to combine all those, so that's why it's now instead of 10,000 and 1,000, it is now 11,000 into a single account. So in this year's budget, there's 11,000 there. So for this year, it would be now 7,000 into the truck reserve, and the other 4 out of the operating budget would simply cover these 4 cylinders. So it is no increase in taxes, and no effect on either budget, capital or operating.
Okay, that's just money's coming out of reserve.
Different line.
Yes. So, I mean, it's up to council, if we're okay with that procedure, and any thoughts?
any other thoughts?
Robbie?
You're okay?
Yeah.
So then let me call, then, are we all in favor of purchasing 4 SCBA air cylinders from M&L Supply at a cost of $4,000? It's coming out of the fire equipment reserve. Are we all in favor?
Okay.
All 3, okay, carried. Good discussion, Dan, thanks. And then next is, again with the fire department, surplus assets. Resolution 162-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council declare the Schreiber Volunteer Fire Department mobile VHF radio as a surplus asset to be disposed of, and that the radio be donated to the Superior Classics Car Club. This was presented at a prior meeting. So, is there any discussion regarding this item?
No.
No.
Are we all in favor? Okay, and that's carried. And then last but not least, on committee of the whole recommendation, which is business arising from previous minutes, a resolution of support for the township of Emo. So, resolution 163-26. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the council and the township of Schreiber support motion 15 of the township of Emo with respect to accessible roadside rest areas / washrooms. Any discussion on this item? All in favor? Okay. Carried. All right. So we're done with committee of the whole recommendations from prior meetings, June the 2nd. Accounts for payments. So we have the May 2026 accounts payable listing that has been provided by the treasurer. Resolution 164-26. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the checks issued on the general bank account for the month of May 2026 in the amount of $171,169.75 for the general accounts payable be approved and ratified. Is there discussion or questions on this item? None?
31091 there.
Who's the vendor?
Bruno, what did we have pending? Bruno Contracting?
That's your cold mix.
Whole mix, okay. Got it.
Any other questions? Are we all in favor? Okay. Carried. Then we have Resolution 165-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that bank debits issued on the general bank account in the month of May 2026 for the amount of $59,529.59 for payroll be approved and ratified. Is there any discussion regarding that item? All in favor? Carried. And then, last but not least, Resolution 166-26. I'm all caught up here. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the bank debits paid out of the general bank account in the month of May 2026 in the amount of $32,198.11 be approved and ratified. Is there discussion regarding this item? No? All in favor? Carried. Okay. That is, in its whole, our accounts for payment. Next, we have unfinished business.
No, none.
None? Then we can move on to other business, bylaw, and I will turn this over to CAO Smith.
Actually, tomorrow.
Marlene, all right?
Yeah.
So treasurer, bottom line.
So this is the bylaw that has been drafted as per the direction at the June 2nd meeting for the budget at 5.82% increase.
Okay, so this would be resolution 167-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that bylaw 19-2026, being a bylaw to adopt the estimates for the sums required during the year 2026 for municipal operations, be given first, second, third, final reading, and enacted. Is there discussion around this item? All in favor? Okay. Second bylaw, Marlene?
So the tax rate bylaw is generated out of the budget bylaw. So this is an annual bylaw that has to be passed in order to process tax bills.
Before you do that, I have a statement.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, Marlene, we just have a statement to quickly read.
okay, so I have a statement from Mayor Mullins, who could not be with us tonight. So he just wanted to say that the mayor is not in favor of passing the 2026 budget because a portion of annual operating expenses is being funded through reserves. This is the second year in a row for this, and it is a dangerous practice. He would also like to add that he is not in favor of making cuts to winter sand supply or the cold patch pothole supply, as we would simply be opening ourselves up to lawsuits, and he says thank you. You want that for your record?
Okay.
Done.
Thank you for that.
Noted.
Noted. Marlene has already talked about what bylaw 2026 is, so let's move this. Let's do this way. 168,
This is, yeah, you're on 68.
168-26, and then we can just open this up. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, sorry, Dan. That bylaw 20-2026, being a bylaw to establish tax rates for the year 2026 for municipal purposes, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. We've had a statement. You've passed one. Is there any discussion you want to have regarding this bylaw?
I think we had a lot of discussion during the budget process on why we're making the decision, so stand by that.
Okay, thank you, Councillor McGrath. Anybody else?
Ditto.
Ditto.
Yeah, as well.
You agree with Dan as well. Okay, so then I'm going to put the call. All in favor? And that is carried. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, Marlene. And thank you for hosting our short but succinct public meeting. Okay, we are going to move on to the meat and bones of our council meeting committee of the whole. So first up, department reports, the treasurer report, the copier lease agreement. Take it away, Treasurer Bottomley.
So the recommendation, the purpose of the report is to bring council information on the lease quotes that we have for printer, copier, scanner, faxer that is used here in the municipal complex by staff. So the recommendation is that council accepts the proposal from Lowry's for the lease of a Canon ImageForce 5150 and that the treasurer be authorized to sign the lease agreement. So our current lease is expiring on June the 30th. I did reach out to 3 different companies for quotes. I did receive quotes from all 3 companies. They didn't necessarily all of them follow what was in the instructions, which I speak about there on who did and who didn't. The machine services positions within the municipal complex on a daily basis, and then any other jobs that may be required from other departments. So we do need, due to the high volume and usage demands, the machine needs to be a production grade machine, able to handle the robust jobs that we do put out. The recommendation before council is to remain with Lowry's and to select the Canon IF 5150, which has the same capabilities as our current machine, along with the status quo customer service. We have been with Lowry's for decades, and there is no, it's exemplary service that we get from them. The cost, the financial impact is, I'm just going to go to my Excel sheet for a second because I can see that better. So by going with the recommended machine from Lowry's, the increase on an annual basis over the current lease is $328. I would say that you would save that in the first call that you're going to have. The machines, the machine that the one vendor quoted on is a much slower machine, and the machine, the 2 top brands for copiers for the higher production capability machines are Canon and Xerox. I did also reach out to the Xerox rep who, again, quoted a higher output machine, but also recommended a second unit be leased to avoid service disruptions. Their customer service is a call center outside of Canada, So you have to basically log a support call and wait for somebody to call you back in order to get service. Lowry's, it is a phone call. They are here. They do troubleshooting over the phone. If it can be resolved that way. They do regular maintenance and yeah, that's the recommendation before you, is to stick with Lowry's and stick with the same output machine.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I just have one quick question. What's the difference between a 5150 and a 5140, other than one's cheaper than the other?
Output.
Output, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Marlene.
One's 50, one's 40.
So what does that mean?
Per minute.
It's how, yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. So everyone's good with the recommendation from our treasurer? Perfect. All right. I just thought I'd ask you, I'm curious, George. And item number 2 is Director of Operations, our status report from our Director, Ivy. So take that away.
Okay, thank you. So at the wastewater plant, the auto sampler has been installed and is collecting samples in a 24-hour period with samples sent to the lab the following day. So, and it rotates through the week. So we start Monday this week, next week we'll sample on Tuesday, next week we sample on Wednesday. So he gets a complete picture of the raw sewage coming into the plant, and this will help us in the design of the plant. Aqua will gather the samples and send them to the lab for analysis. The pH probe adapter has arrived, and that's also now in play just this week. The Napier Reed contract has been executed, and work on design and drawings will begin. We had a monthly steering meeting on June 18th. Minutes will be shared at the next council meeting. Phase 1 of the coagulant study that the Clean Water Center is working on for us. So the phase 1 was their in-house, their bench testing. So they have built their pilot plant, and have shipped it to Schreiber. So they plan to be in Schreiber at our water treatment plant July 6th to July 10th to conduct phase 2 of the project. So we're going to meet on next week, June 30th, to go over phase 1 results.
Perfect.
So that project is moving along. Water treatment plant, we have had 5 more AWQIs since June 2nd. No further action was required. 2 of the AWQIs were for high turbidity, which then creates another 2 AWQIs to resolve those 2 issues. And then, no surprise, 1 AWQI was for filter efficiency. We have to maintain over 95% on all filters, and with the high turbidity events, clearly we didn't do that. The Public Works has conducted the sewer flushing, so that was actually good timing and helped us with the elevated tank turnover. So it was a good exercise. They moved a lot of debris through the main, so the wastewater plant was busy during that time. And you'll see the main flows attached for your information. The senior committee, our senior center, has decided to hold their high tea in October this year. So they will arrange an event in the center with Lise Bourgeois this week. So she'll be a special guest tomorrow. So invite all the seniors up to join us for that. Barbecue Thursdays have started at the Pavilion tent, and the committee will participate in their usual way for both Canada Day and Heritage Days. Mallory Blue Park the project has begun. The contractors arrived on Monday, June 15th. We expect the new playground equipment to arrive Thursday. It did arrive yesterday, and they've already started putting a lot of it together The color matches look fantastic.
Good.
Very nice and bright, so kind of excited to see the finished product there. Blue Imp has advised us that they are, their original plan was to soil and seed the area outside of the play area, which was the reason that we were keeping the park closed until July 31st to try and give it a chance to take. But they have advised us that they are putting sod down now, so we may be able to open it up sooner.
Yes.
Ontario Street sidewalk is the new sidewalk that was replaced last year, and there are a couple cracks that have appeared. Our warranty with base concrete has expired, but I called and spoke to Nick, and he is already in the area. He's working in Marathon and he's working in Terrace Bay. So although the warranty is over, Nick said he's going to stop by and just complete the quick repairs to those cracks as per the OPS Muni 351. So that's the provincial standard specifications for sidewalks. So that should be done in within the next couple of weeks anyway.
Nice. Now, this is an information only, but is there any questions from council for Director Ivy on anything that she's just covered? She's covered a lot of ground here.
Are they like substantial cracks?
No,
No.
no, they're just fine cracks. And the way the standard specifies is that they clean the crack out with a grinding wheel and then they put a concrete caulking in there to seal it.
Did we install a second set of bar screens yet?
No,
No,
because I'm still waiting for GFL.
I'm still waiting.
So they have not responded. They were scheduled to come, and then they had an emergency situation that took them away from our date. So I haven't heard back from him when they can come, but I have got a name of a second company in Thunder Bay that is fairly large as well, and is able to, they've got the capacity to do it. So I'm just getting a quote from them to see if we can move our need along pretty quicker than what
Yeah.
GFL is able to.
Yeah.
Anything else? Thanks. Thanks, Tim. And next up on the agenda, oh, sorry, that's mine.
It's still my
Director of Operations, our grader. So, Director Ivy, I'll give the floor to you again.
So the recommendation is that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Schreiber does hereby direct the Director Operating to proceed with the lease agreement for the 2026 John Deere 620P grader with a monthly payment, and I've got an updated payment actually, of $6,622.52 a month. Since 2022, the township has spent $201,000 on the existing graders for repairs. So we received a quote from Norse to address the transmission issue that the Volvo is experiencing, and that quote came in at $130,000. So we've reached out to Brant and Komatsu and Cat. Cat never did get back to me, but we've got some prices here from Brant, which is John Deere out of Thunder Bay, and Komatsu is out of Timmins. So it is my recommendation that we go with the 620P. And the difference between the models is, after talking with Public Works, specifically the operator for this grader, the 620P is the one with the joysticks instead of the antler racks.
Because that was the one question I had for you. For the difference in price, what does the G tier have that the P tier does not? So it's the P that has,
The joysticks.
okay,
And the joysticks are not necessarily just the controls.
No.
Like the antler rack, it moves all of your blades. But when you corner and you have to change that, you have to physically go back and reset everything. Where on the joysticks, he can push a button and it just kind of zeroes out again where it started. So he felt that that was worth
The difference.
The difference. And then John Deere worked the difference out on the lease payment, that it actually ended up cheaper than what the Antler rack was. So,
That's a great solution for Public Works.
yeah, absolutely. And then the other thing, the reason for the difference in payment tonight was, again, the operator asked if we could work fenders in on the, because this quote doesn't include fenders.
Right.
And he felt that without the fenders, you were kicking up a lot of the slush and snow on the windows and would impair your visibility when you were operating. So after adding the fenders to it, that's the,
Choosing the model with the joystick.
and the fenders, 14-foot motorboard, it comes to that price, the $6,622 a month.
Does that include taxes?
No.
Does not. Okay. So this is a silly question because I don't have a calculator in front of me. So 6622.52 monthly times 12 months. What is that?
79, it's 79,470 and 24 cents a year.
So does the director of operations and the treasurer feel like this is a number that's still workable within our budget?
Yes, because by the time we actually get the grader here and the lease payments start, you probably will be looking at August, September.
Okay.
So yes, it will.
Okay. All right.
So
Okay.
which one did we say, John Deere?
The John Deere 620 PP.
P model.
How many hours are we putting on these machines a year?
This lease is going to be for 1,000 hours a year, and average on our existing machine, we put on about 500.
Okay, so we're not going over.
Right.
So
And
the
the
taxes are
warranty
10,300.
This lease will come
You're
with
playing
full
with the
warranty for the full 5 years.
5 years,
And
okay.
it also is coming with the full 5 years of a service plan. So
Okay.
any oil changes or, that's all covered in this lease banner.
Okay.
Ooh.
Beautiful. I didn't see the 5-year warranty there.
Yeah.
So they come and do the oil changes
Yep.
and whatnot?
Yes.
Yeah, as long as the guys that drive it
Yeah,
picks the right one, then I'm in favor.
agreed.
Yeah. I think it's slightly lighter than they'd like, but I think it's certainly within budget. And now that it includes fenders and it has those joysticks, which I think, just from listening to you talk, Tim, was a concern, that I think that's probably a good solution.
So what, I'm not really too familiar with leasing and all that. So what happens after 5 years now? We get the option to buy it or we give it back? Or?
So yes, the option is to, the buyout at the end of the 5 years is $179,000.
$400.
$400, yeah. Or you can give back the grader and start from scratch again.
And how long did this grader last? The existing one? It was used when we bought it?
It's a I just looked at that today. I don't
It's a
know how long.
2012, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, 2012, thank you. And they've had it since before I got here, so it's been longer than the 7 years.
Yeah, so we, council will have to figure out if it's worth it, keep it or release it.
By leasing it, it gives us a good opportunity to make sure that the weight and size is good,
Yeah.
the controls are good. It gives us
Get-
an opportunity
you
to,
want.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if it is a good, reliable machine, you may want to buy it out for 170.
So there's no tricks in there. If something happens to a computer, it's got to be floated to Thunder Bay. We're not on that for that. Or how is?
I don't know the answer to the floating question, but any repairs to it will be under the warranty.
I think it's an alternative way to get a piece of equipment in that is A, new, right? And B, for our taxpayers, affordable. Because we worked this into the operating budget for 2026. And you're right, we worked in the whole amount. So that the fact that it's higher, it's slightly higher, is not going to have a huge impact for this fiscal, but it will probably for next. But I think the first winter that they have a new grader, I think you're gonna see better work and happier staff. Right, so we're all in favor with the Director of Operations recommendation?
Yeah, I think I was just gonna add that, if we want a grader for this year, and we were gonna use our old grader, we gotta spend, what, $170,000?
130 just for the repair, and then you still had to float it.
Yeah, so that's,
150 Gs.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, so there's your direction. Okay, next on the list is again with our Director of Operation, our Nords grant, and I will once again turn it over to Director Ivy.
So the letter that is attached to this report indicates that Nords has allocated $73,370 for the next 5 years. So we are still required to fill out the grant application to notify them what project that we would be working on. So my recommendation is to do the sidewalks, another section of sidewalks again in 5 years. At the end of 5 years, you'll have 366,000.
Okay, any questions or comments about this item?
No.
I have one, Tam. I'm just gonna just a caution. When I looked into the Nords grant, it doesn't look like sidewalks are on the list again for this year. So we have some inquiries going out. I just don't want to see you apply for sidewalks and then they're not going to pay for them. But the 4 items that I could see, sidewalks were not on the list. So I just want to confirm before you guys fill out the application that they are. And if they are, I think it's a great way to use that money.
Okay.
I just want to double check for you so this doesn't get waylaid somehow.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for that. So that if they are eligible, then that's where you want the grant money directed.
And
Okay.
just so council knows, Jamie has had conversations with them today, so we're just waiting for
For the
his.
answer.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hold the application at all. But if they are eligible, we're all good with them going with sidewalks. Yes?
Yep.
Okay. There's your direction, Tim. All right. Thank you. And Claude Darling, HVAC preventative maintenance contract. Again, I will direct you to Director Ivy.
So this is our annual preventative maintenance contract, and we have added the food bank to our list of equipment, especially while it is still an oil furnace, it does require annual maintenance, so it was important to have it added. So that was an additional $500. But by going with the preventative maintenance contract, it also provides us with a discount on the hourly rate for any repairs that we need. So the contract this year is $17,200, and we can pay that in 4 payments through the year.
What was it last year? What was last year's contract?
It was $500 less.
16,700, yeah.
Cool.
And the labor rate is slightly higher than it was last year, but I think that's to be expected.
Yes, they had a
Absolutely.
union contract, and
Yeah.
Okey-doke.
Is everyone, all the councils are good with that? Okay, you have your direction for that. And Director of Operations report, Parks Canada Land Use License Agreement. I think this might be a joint thing, but I'll turn it over to you. I'll start with you, Director of Operations Ivy, please.
okay, CEO Smith and myself had a meeting with the Parks Canada, and they have requested a user agreement for the Schreiber Beach, and they are looking to hold programming opportunities for visitors down at the beach. So this is just to make our agreement formal.
And the rail museum? I see a map of the rail museum up here. Is that the museum? No. Yeah.
Uh,
Why is there a map of that? Is that just because they're do programming there?
They do programming there as well.
Yeah, in the side lot, so, off of Walker's Lake Road, in that grassy area, they do put up booths and tables
So
through.
that's why that's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds good.
And this is a 5-year agreement.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anybody else have any questions or concerns for either? No?
And I should mention that there's no monetary ask for
Right.
this, yes.
Thanks, Tim. So we're all good with that?
Yep.
Sign away.
I think it's a win-win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then the next item, item 7, Occupational Health and Safety Committee meeting minutes. And again, Director Ivy.
Oh. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to be called on for that one. So this is our Health and Safety Committee that we have 4 times a year. And so basically, we go over the monthly workplace inspections. And there's a list here of some identified issues that we have, that we need to either deal with or have dealt with.
Okay.
We did the WMIS training for 2025 for all staff. And we've updated our emergency evacuation plans. And it was a pretty quick meeting.
Good. Does council have any questions? No? Good? Perfect. Thanks, Danny. And we're going to take a ride away from Director of Operations and call on Fire Chief Morrison for the Schreiber Fire Department report. And Jan, I give you the floor.
All right, this is the March-April activity report. It was a fairly quiet period, as you can see by the numbers there, but there were 2 interesting exceptions. One, we dealt with our first electric vehicle fire in April, which was out on the highway, and frankly, we got lucky with that one. A lot of times those cars can take 15 to 30 truckloads of water to put out those batteries. We managed to do it in about 4 truckloads of water. So, whereas with a regular car, we used to be able to get away with, 1 truck.
Is that the best thing to use on those batteries is water?
Right now, yes, it is. They are coming out with certain foams and things where you try to encapsulate the battery. They're just cost prohibitive for us. And this one, for example, burned out at near Gravel River. And by the time you get there, you're saving nothing. So,
Wow.
because the car is so fully advanced that it's already burning down to the battery. The biggest thing to do is hope you don't use as much water, because all that runoff with all that lithium battery is going to go right into the ditch and into the environment.
Okay.
So
That's the concern.
that's the big concern, really. I mean, you're not going to save the car or repair the car. It's saving the environment from the effects of what's being washed into the environment.
But they promote them terrible.
But they promote them, yeah.
But they promote them, yes.
So if you just let it burn,
And destroy it, it's almost better.
it's almost better.
Let it burn off
Yeah.
instead of washing into the ground.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the second call was a house fire we had on Quebec Street in a basement. There is some notes there on that.
Yes.
It was an early morning call, which is our worst time of the day to get people out from the fire department members. We fought this with 3 people. I had asked for assistance from Marathon early. They did respond to truck, but we were able to get the fire in the basement and cancel them before they arrived.
Wow.
Otherwise, the learning contract is underway right now. We have 6 members currently taking firefighter 1 training. The province was here on June 3rd to assess us as far as our compliance with training. We've got 1 or 2 week areas, we're gonna miss some of the July 1st compliance dates, but only by about 45 days, as our guys are scheduled for testing on August 15th. They still rated us, to quote them, in the top third of departments in northwestern Ontario.
Excellent.
I would ask Jen, I don't know if you had a chance to look, but there are several pieces of or several items on our communications list. And several of them, I have asked Jan. So there's a request for resolutions of support from different communities regarding Ontario firefighter certification requirements and the cost behind that. And I just wondered if you had a chance just to even, do you have an opinion or a thought about some of these requests that we're seeing on our communications list? Is there something there that this mayor and council can support that would help you?
I don't think there is on these resolution requests.
Okay.
What we've done is, if you recall last fall, I had discussions with the fire marshal's office and people at the Ontario Fire College level about getting an RTC license for here. And getting that in place by the end of this year would be our biggest support we could get from not only this council, but that would be jointly with Manitowoc Marathon, Terrace Bay, and Nipigon Red Rock, is to get everybody to support that.
Okay.
With that support, for instance, right now under the learning contracts I'm signing with Fire College, we have to teach that ourselves. I have to provide the instructors. It's myself, Dan and Owen that are teaching everything right now. But with that RTC agreement in place, the province pays for instructors. And we get other instructors to come here on the province's dime to assist us. Because if I keep relying on my 2 or 3 people with the instructor qualifications and the ability to sign off students, I'm going to burn them out. I'm going to burn myself out trying to teach every course. So getting that RTC contract in place would be the biggest support. As far as the resolutions go, if you want me to speak to them now or speak to each resolution as they come up later.
Well, no, I mean, I think because there's I think there's 3 of them that all speak to that. And I just figured, since we would have you tonight at the meeting, that you'd be the best one to say, is this something that you would ask that, yes, we support, or you would think it's not an issue for us?
The Iroquois Fall one, which is number 4,
Mm-hmm.
I did put out an email earlier today. I don't know how many people saw it, but I would not support that one.
Okay.
Myself. They're asking for testing. They're saying their problem isn't certification. They're saying their problem is getting the testing delivered. Their resolution asks for the ability to test their own people themselves in-house. But that's never happened, even before the fire college closed. Currently, right now, I'm certified to do testing, but I'm not allowed to test my own people. I'm usually testing Greenstone up in Geraldton.
Right.
Somebody from outside your department has to come test you.
Okay.
So
that's not
the province has never operated that way on the certification. So.
And sustainable provincial grants funding for fire services?
Now, I haven't read that one.
Okay.
Grants are very hard to come by on the fire side.
They are.
Or any sort of public safety grants. So if it's asking for more public safety grants, I would be in favor of that.
Okay.
Especially if it can be used towards things like 911 systems.
Right, because I see you're right up here about 911. Okay. And I thought there was one more. Oh, Municipality of Wawa, yes. Funding program to support municipalities in meeting provincially legislated fire protection requirements.
I haven't read that one.
Okay. All right. I just figured since you were here, I would pick your brain. So any other questions for Jan, since we have him in the room?
Good.
You're all good?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Jen. Oops, I keep wanting to give that stuff to Rhonda. Number 9, Schreiber Public Library Board meeting minutes. Councillor Morrow?
These are April's minutes. We did have a meeting though, either last week or the week before, I can't really remember. But we're breaking for the summer, so if anyone has any questions,
Okay.
maybe it's Linda now. They did ask me, some of the board members were wondering, the roof, I guess, is an ongoing issue, so they were just wondering if we had like Linda was wondering if we had a quote. So if a grant came up and Linda could apply for it and had an actual number for like a roof, like replacing the
The
shingles.
whole roof,
Yeah, I'm assuming like the shingles or whatever, yeah.
it's a rubber roof up
Oh,
there.
doing the membrane, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. So if
okay.
there, if you had a solid number, so if a grant came up and Linda saw it, she could apply.
Okay,
That's what the board members were wondering.
okay, I will look into that for you.
Thanks. I'm not sure if anyone's actually been up there to look at it to you.
I think, Tammy, you had someone up there, no?
Yeah, we did. We had somebody up there doing repairs.
Yeah, they repaired stuff, but I don't know if you would ask them to give an actual number to.
I honestly can't remember. I might have tucked it into my budget file, but I'll have a look, and if not,
Yeah.
I will contact them for.
I told them it would be expensive, but I didn't have a number.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions for Dave? Do you ever see anything in the library minutes you want to ask? No, you're good? And then the amended item number 10, trackless repairs, again, to Director Ivy.
So since we are keeping the trackless, the crew ordered $7,000 worth of parts to make it safe, to repair the pivot joint and the solenoid that will actually shut the attachments off. So that whole bill came to $7,553, which fit in our budget.
Right.
However, the rad and the clutch has now failed. So those two items require another $8,400. So that'll put us over budget. However, my suggestion would be, since we are doing the lease grader, I don't need that full 20,000 in that supplies line. So overall department should be under budget. So it would help compensate for the trackless. I think it's important that we make the trackless safe since we are keeping it.
And I've started to notice they're using it less, they're trying to save that
They
unit
are
too.
trying to extend the life of it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any questions for Director Ivy regarding this trackless?
Who does the repairs? Like, do our guys fix it?
Our guys have been doing it, yeah. Yeah.
So they'll do all this, all these new
Yep.
parts and stuff?
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
Austin is incredibly
us-
handy with that kind of stuff.
Saves
That's
us
a
a lot of
huge
money
save.
there.
Yeah. Now, should this say that you want us to approve 8,400,
84,
parts?
yes,
not 7,000, right?
right.
Okay, so it's, because you've already done the one, which is within your budget, but you want the extra 8,400.
That's right.
Okay, so if you guys can just make a note of that, that's what she's looking for. And everyone's good with that recommendation?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Okay, you have your direction for that as well. Okay, that is all that's on the list for Committee of the Whole. We're moving on now to communications. I know we've kind of touched on some stuff that we've been talking about. Is there anything on the list that anybody here at the table would like to discuss further?
Not overly.
No, I'm good.
No?
The municipality of Red Lake, number 2, they're asking the province for help with police, cost of policing.
Yeah.
How badly is that going up year over year?
Well, maybe our CAO can speak to it, but it was funny the way that read. They weren't worried about the cost of policing. They were worried about the cost of compliance in setting. And I didn't understand what the difference was between the two. But maybe can you
Yeah.
speak to that, Ron?
I can actually. I don't know what they're talking about either. Like, I mean, as far as like, I know for here, for example, we just, the policing costs are based on the call volume, are they not, in the population? Is that how it works, Marlene,
I
typically?
cannot confirm that,
I-
but what I can tell you is that policing was one of the biggest impacts in the increases to our expenses over
For sure.
2025.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate enough that the actual cost that it should have been increased, they're in their formula, it's capped at a certain amount. And so we were capped, we didn't absorb the full
Yeah.
amount of the increase in our costs.
But the compliance piece of it,
I know.
I'm not sure what they mean by that.
Yeah, because it didn't look like, if you read that, right? It says it's about, something about its compliance. It's not the
Well,
policing
there's-
cost.
There's other stuff in here too.
Yeah.
About cost, but. So that communities with changing populations, expanding service demand receive fair and sustainable provincial support is another part of that. So
Is that something you as council, you feel like maybe we should be supporting? You just heard our treasurer talk about the impact.
yeah, I think it probably wouldn't hurt to support it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, so item number 2, we're gonna look to support the municipality of Red Lake. Any other? I looked at item number 8, request for resolution of support from the municipality of Wawa in regards to provincial legislation amendments, health and safety concerns for public works. Director Wright, do you have some thoughts on this?
Clearing snow is definitely a challenge with some residents. Sometimes vehicles are parked in the way on purpose. Sometimes not so nice words are exchanged. So, I mean, it is a real thing. I'm not sure what they are proposing to fix that. I haven't seen Manitoba's bill to know what they're proposing to do, but the concern is real.
Is this something like if we had an issue with one of our public works people, is this an issue that we would handle under our own harassment policy? Or because it looks like they're looking for new mandates from the province to protect these guys.
I can't say that there's been any harassment complaints come forward from
Okay.
our guys. There's been many complaints about residents parking their vehicle on purpose
Yeah.
to stop
Yeah.
the snow from going in the driveway, which we refer to our bylaw
Right.
actually.
Okay. If you're okay with it, then I'm okay with that. Is there anything else? Anybody else saw? No? CAO Smith, unfinished business.
There is none.
Other.
There is none.
All right.
Thank you.
Then, if there's nothing else, we will pass resolution 169-26. And we would move by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that this meeting now be closed and we resume at this time to discuss the minutes of the May 28, 2026, June 1st, June 2nd, closed sessions, education and training of members at the meeting, in regards to MPAC assessment, personal matters about identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, OSHA complaints, and human resource matters, employee requests, and human resource matter incident. We'll go back into closed and let you all go home for the evening. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?